I asked the Battlefield community on Twitter what's the one piece of advice you could give to a brand new player getting started in 2042, and this was the prime example. PTO. Yes, there was an overwhelming majority of people saying to play the objective. And to be fair, that is the core of the Battlefield experience. You do have to play the objective to achieve a win for your team, regardless of what mode that is and how big the game is itself. Whether that be conquest, capturing flags, breakthrough, pushing through to the next objective, Battlefield revolves around the effectiveness of your team and your squad in capturing and maintaining objectives. But there are other nuances to the Battlefield game that is worthwhile all new players getting to know very quickly when they start off. Firstly, don't get hung up on your KD ratio. Battlefield is a game where squad and team play come first and foremost. In my opinion, as long as you're achieving objectives, progressing and winning as a team, KD ratio or kill death ratio comes at a second. And as Wriggles aptly put it, don't get upset if you die over and over. In Battlefield there are so many more obstacles to overcome, whether that be just generally other infantry players, other weapons that they're using, or vehicles that you see throughout the game as well. So make sure you hunker down, learn how to combat each of these things, and progress from there. With the specialists being introduced into 2042, there has been a bit of a shake-up to the class system that we do know from previous iterations. But as Jay Tweedy mentioned, if you're going to be playing Portal, classes have their own abilities, so it's best for new players to learn and utilise those as best they can to help aid their squad and overall team to achieve victory. I think Rick Shade puts this beautifully when he says, take your time to learn what class, gun and gadgets fit your playstyle. Personally, I'm much more focused on ARs and sniper rifles than I am on submachine guns and shotguns, but again, I've learned that over many years of playing various different Battlefield games. Anyone who's new to 2042 needs to take the time to get used to these different areas, and because it provides so much more variety in comparison to other games that they may have played in the past. A few different people mentioned to me about being able to run with a squad as well. Of course, it's great when you know people in the community or you've got friends who all want to play 2042 together, especially if you're all playing the game for the first time. But even if you're going in solo, make sure that you're joining squads in the game and helping out your teammates. This is going to be even more important when the VoIP system is introduced. It was disabled during the beta, but hopefully in the full-blown title we will have access to VoIP to be able to communicate with our squad mates at any given time. Don't be afraid to put your mic on and have a chat with your teammates. Some of the best friends I've made on the Battlefield have just been randomly joining games on my own and actually just chatting to people in my squad. And I'll be honest, a lot of people in the community are happy to help new players. We just want to see Battlefield grow. Trev makes a great point about game modes here too. Because of the size and scope of Battlefield historically, there's basically something for everyone. As Trev puts it, if you love vehicles and large maps, you can go and play Conquest, and if you hate vehicles and want a smaller experience, go and play TDM. I've mentioned it so many times, but come November the 12th, I'm going to be obsessed with the Rush servers, so you'll definitely see me on those. And something crucial to point out here is that so many people mentioned having fun. And with Battlefield 2042, you can create fun no matter how you want to play the game. DICE have really given us the keys to the kingdom in 2042, and there's so many different variations of game that we can actually get our hands on now. Whether that's diving into all-out war, jumping into the extraction royale of Hazard Zone, or building your own game modes in Portal. There's so many different avenues to explore with Battlefield 2042. In terms of general play, and a few tips I would give to you, is that number one, you should be using cover effectively at all times. This is something that I preach, but I don't normally do myself, so definitely do as I say, not as I do on this one. Generally speaking, there's always going to be something you can be advantageously behind, so you can shoot your enemies, use it for cover to protect, hide, and surprise potential attackers as well. Something that's learnt over time is certainly your situational awareness, so using sound and sight cues, observing where people are and where they're not going to be, which will ultimately allow you to take advantage or cover a flank because your teammates are pretty tunnel visioned. And of course, take your time to learn the maps. Even in a brand new game, altering your gameplay based on past experiences in an environment or a situation can be really beneficial. This means you can actively learn from your mistakes and your successes going forwards too. Let me know in the comments what is one piece of advice you'd give to a brand new Battlefield 2042 player. I'd like to get like a little compendium going in the comments just of tips and tricks that us Battlefield players can pass on to the next generation. I just want to give a massive shout out to everyone who contributed to this video, and all content creators who I've quoted in this video will be linked down below, so please go check them out. I'd really appreciate it if you do. Shameless plug incoming. If you don't follow me on Twitter and want to keep up to date with my video content, what's going on my end, and to be involved in potentially some more videos where I ask the community like I have, feel free to drop me a follow over there. Thanks again for watching everyone, and 5 more days to go.